Hashtag don't ruin my Christmas party, the billionaire CEO snapped, then the janitor saved her daughter. The scream pierced through the elegant holiday music, silencing the orchestra and freezing every champagne glass mid-toast. 12-year-old Lily Harrington had disappeared from her mother's lavish penthouse Christmas party, and no one had seen her slip away. As security guards rushed to search the 50-story building, Victoria Harrington, CEO of Harrington Global, locked eyes with Miguel Suarez, the night janitor she'd just berated for accidentally knocking over an ice sculpture. Neither could have imagined how their lives would intertwine before the night was over. If you're enjoying this story of unexpected heroes and second chances, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more heartwarming tales that remind us what truly matters in life. Victoria Harrington hadn't always been called the Ice Queen by her employees. At 42, she'd built her father's struggling investment firm into a global empire worth billions, but the cost had been steep. Her marriage had crumbled 3 years ago, leaving her to raise Lily alone while managing a corporate empire. The annual Christmas party at her Manhattan penthouse was the crown jewel of the social season, a carefully orchestrated display of power and success that Victoria couldn't afford to have tarnished by anything, especially not by a clumsy janitor who should have finished cleaning hours before the guests arrived. "Don't ruin my Christmas party," she had snapped at Miguel when the ice sculpture of a majestic reindeer crashed to the floor 90 minutes before the first guests arrived. "Just clean it up and get out. That sculpture cost more than you make in a month." Miguel had simply nodded, his weathered hands already working to collect the shattered ice. At 58, he'd learned to swallow his pride years ago. The night shift janitorial position at Harrington Tower wasn't glamorous, but it paid enough to cover rent and send money back to his daughter and grandchildren in Mexico. He'd been working double shifts for weeks, trying to save enough for a plane ticket to visit them for the holidays. The party had been in full swing for 2 hours when Lily vanished. Victoria had been in the middle of discussing a potential merger with Japanese investors when she realized her daughter was no longer by the dessert table where she'd last seen her. "Find my daughter," Victoria ordered her head of security, struggling to maintain her composure. "Search every floor if necessary." As the minutes ticked by without any sign of Lily, Victoria's carefully constructed facade began to crack. The girl had been withdrawn lately, struggling with her parents' divorce and her mother's constant absence. Victoria had promised this Christmas would be different, they would spend real time together after the party. Now Lily was missing, and Victoria couldn't shake the feeling that it was somehow her fault. Miguel had been emptying trash bins on the 48th floor when he heard soft crying coming from the emergency stairwell. Opening the heavy door, he found Lily huddled on the landing, clutching something in her hands. "Are you okay, Nina?" he asked gently, keeping his distance so as not to frighten her. Lily looked up, her face streaked with tears. "Everyone's looking for me, aren't they?" Miguel nodded. "Your mother is very worried." "She doesn't care about me," Lily said bitterly. "She only cares that I'm ruining her perfect party." Miguel sat down on the step below her. "I don't think that's true." "You don't know her," Lily replied. "I know she works very hard," Miguel said. "Sometimes parents work too hard because they want to give their children everything." Lily opened her hands, revealing a crumpled photograph of herself as a toddler, sitting on her mother's lap. Both were laughing. "We don't laugh anymore," she whispered. Miguel was about to respond when the stairwell door burst open several floors below, followed by the sound of rapid footsteps. Moments later, the door above them opened, and Victoria appeared, her designer dress wrinkled from running up the stairs, her perfect makeup streaked with tears. "Lily," she gasped, rushing down to her daughter. Miguel stood to give them space, but before he could leave, Victoria did something that shocked them both. She fell to her knees and pulled Lily into a fierce hug. "I'm so sorry," Victoria whispered. "I'm so sorry." "For what?" Lily asked, her voice muffled against her mother's shoulder. "For everything," Victoria said. "For not being the mother you deserve." As Miguel quietly moved toward the exit, Victoria looked up. "Wait," she called. Please stay. What followed was a conversation that changed 3 lives forever. There in the cold stairwell, Victoria listened as her daughter poured out years of loneliness and hurt. Miguel shared wisdom from his own struggles raising his daughter as a single father after his wife died. And Victoria, for the first time in years, allowed herself to be vulnerable. I've been so afraid of failing, she admitted. After your father left, I thought if I just worked harder, made more money, gave you everything money could buy. I just wanted you, Lily said simply. When they finally returned to the penthouse, the party was winding down. Victoria made a brief appearance to thank her guests, then shocked her executive team by announcing she would be taking a 2-week holiday, effective immediately. Later that night, after Lily had fallen asleep, Victoria found Miguel finishing his shift. I owe you an apology, she said. And my gratitude. Miguel shook his head. You owe me nothing, Mrs. Harrington. Victoria, she corrected him. And I owe you everything. You found something I'd lost long before tonight, my daughter, yes, but also my perspective. She handed him an envelope. Inside was a first-class plane ticket to Mexico City, dated for Christmas Eve. I can't accept this, Miguel protested. Please, Victoria said. Consider it a bonus. And there's something else, I'd like to offer you a new position. Harrington Global is starting a community outreach program in the new year, and I need someone who understands what really matters to run it. 6 months later, Miguel's program had helped dozens of families in need. Victoria had restructured her work schedule to be home for dinner with Lily every night. And the 3 of them had formed an unlikely friendship that proved some of life's most valuable lessons come from the most unexpected teachers. As Victoria often said in the interviews about her company's new direction, success isn't measured by the height of your tower, but by the strength of your foundation. The following Christmas, Victoria's party was held in the company's ground floor atrium, open to employees and their families. The ice sculpture was replaced by a children's choir, and Victoria and Lily handed out gifts together. And when Miguel's daughter and grandchildren visited from Mexico, they were guests of honor at the Harrington home. Sometimes the greatest gifts come wrapped in the most ordinary packages. Sometimes our greatest teachers are those we least expect to learn from. And sometimes, it takes nearly losing everything to discover what truly matters. If this story touched your heart, please like and subscribe for more tales that remind us of our shared humanity. Remember, it's never too late to change your story. Sometimes all it takes is the courage to listen and the wisdom to learn from unexpected places.